Hi, I'm Laura. I have worked as a counsellor for 20 years now, and my passion is all things well-being. So today I'd like to talk to you about EFT and show you a sequence that you can follow to help calm the body and reduce your stress levels. So what is EFT? EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's a tapping that taps on the same meridian points as acupuncture. And what it does is it sends a signal to the brain, which then sends a signal to the parasympathetic nervous system to calm the body, because that's the job of the parasympathetic nervous system. We've got two parts to our nervous system, and it's actually a bit more complex than that, but to make it easy, the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for our fight-flight response, and the parasympathetic is responsible, think of it like parachute. It helps bring us back down, it calms us. And that's what EFT does. So there's going to be a sequence to it, and we will be following the following sequence, which is inner, outer eyebrow, under eye, under nose, chin, collarbone, underarm, top of the head. Now, before we begin, I always ask everyone to check in on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being you're going to get medical help. Where is your stress or anxiety on that scale? And regardless of what words I use, you can adapt them and change them to words that fit better for you. So I, as an example, will focus on anxiety today, and you just follow me in your rounds. We'll do another check-in after 3 rounds and see where you're sitting on the scale. I feel anxious. My body is very anxious. I feel panicky. I am anxious. My body is anxious. I feel anxious. I hate feeling anxious. I dislike this feeling of anxiety. I am anxious. My heart is racing. My body is tense. My head is scrambled. I am anxious. My body feels anxious. I really hate feeling anxiety. I am experiencing anxiety. I dislike anxiety. My body is anxious. My heart is racing. My head is scrambled. My stomach is tight. I feel really anxious. I am anxious. My body is anxious. So now we would just take a nice big deep breath in and sigh it out. Do a check-in, see where you are on the scale. Now it's the first round, so the likelihood is you will still be where you were. Some of you may have come down 1. So what we're looking to do is get to around about a 3 or a 4, because that's manageable. It's anything over a 5 that feels unbearable, but obviously the lower you can go, the better. So we will now do another round, just tapping this time into more of the sensations within the body. My heart is racing. I am anxious. My head feels scrambled. I'm unable to think clearly. My stomach is tight. My stomach is really tense. My heart is thumping. I really dislike these sensations in my body. My heart is racing. I feel like I can't catch my breath. My chest is heavy. It feels like something sat on my chest. And my stomach is tight. It's so uncomfortable. These sensations are scary. I really hate feeling like this. My body is anxious. My heart is racing. My head is all over the place. I'm afraid. I feel really scared. I feel afraid of my own body. My body is fighting me. I am anxious. Okay. Again, another deep breath in. Sigh it out, and then check in with where you are on that scale. Ask yourself if there's any change. If there's not, you can keep going with that kind of dialogue until you start to feel some change. We'd be looking ideally for it to reduce, say 2, so maybe from an 8 to a 6. So the next part is learning to change the dialogue, and this is an important part of it. My body is doing a good job of protecting me. My body sees threat where there is no threat. It's finely tuned and a little sensitive. But my body is doing a good job of protecting me. My body has become a little like the car alarm that goes off in the wind, rather than when the car is broken into. But my body is doing a good job. My body is doing what it should do. It's just a little fine-tuned. It's a little sensitive. It's seeing threat where there is no threat. So I know that I am safe. I am safe. My body is just a little sensitive. I am safe and my body is doing what it's meant to do. Okay, another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. How are you feeling? I think when we start to shift the dialogue, there's something triggered within us that makes sense then, because the reality is your body is doing what it's meant to do. It's just become a little confused. It's seeing stress, threat where there is none. And your body, our bodies, store trauma and memory somatically as well as in the head. So when we've experienced anxiety, the body very quickly remembers what that is and what it feels like. So you can use that tap and sequence to calm yourself. And we will finish with a final round, which again is focusing on positive aspects. My body is doing its job. I am thankful for my body. I choose now to understand that I am safe. I am safe. I choose to understand that I am safe. I understand my body is doing its best. I love my body. And I choose to let go of fear. I have nothing to be afraid of. I am safe. I am safe. My body is doing its job. I love myself. I love my body. I am safe. I choose to let go of fear. I choose to let go of negative. I choose to let go of anything toxic in my life. I choose to let go of old narratives. I choose to move forward knowing I am safe. I choose to move forward knowing I am safe and knowing that my body is doing its best job. I choose to let go of fear and anxiety and stress because my body loves me. I love my body. It's doing an amazing job and I am safe. Now I would like, when you take your deep breath in this time, to place your hand on your chest, close your eyes and say out loud or in your head the words, I am safe. And I really hope that if you've gone through that whole process and maybe you've stuck with some of the narrative longer to reduce your stress, I hope that by the time you've got to the end that you are indeed feeling more relaxed. Please let me know anybody that does go all of the distance and try this. I would love to hear what the experience was like for you and whether you found it helpful.